the relationship between Snake and Clover. For some reason, they'd been abducted from the same room, woken up in the same room. Junpei looked at them thoughtfully. So what's the deal with the two of you, anyway? It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide.
We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes? Snake's my older brother, obviously. I'm his little sister. That really so hard to understand?
Junpei was taken aback. The other is just as surprised. She is correct. He laid his hands on Clover's shoulder. Are you surprised? Well, yeah, but... Why? There are other people here with connections. Those two, for instance. Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
You mean Jumpy and me?
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you? You went to school together.
Yeah?
June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the attention. Junpei felt nervous, tried to scratch his head as casually as possible. You think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way? You're right. You connect the dots between victims, that usually leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff. Any of this ring a bell? Ring a bell.
No?
Perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire?
A millionaire?
Son? Well, someone bought this boat, set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be rich. We can't be sure of that. To me, this seems the result of work of an organization, not an individual. Zero is most likely simply the representative of a larger group. And what sort of organization? Could be a number of things. An army, perhaps? Research group? Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment. Snake! 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 Exactly. Funny you say that. And thanks, I'm trying my hardest. I always try to give my best with a performance like this. It's only fair. If it is, then this is a pretty fucked up experiment. I mean, come on, a guy's dead! The word dead hung in the air. Heavy, ominous. The room went quiet. I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do this. If this was all one guy, he's got some serious issues. No! Hope you're doing well. No! I'm being peppered. I'm being peppered. Send help. Even with the specter of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time. Ah! In the end, they learned nothing. Another 30 minutes of their 9 hours passed. All they had to show was impatience. Damn it. 7.5 hours left, okay? You really sure you would just want to sit around? No one was willing to argue this time. Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed. Sure, we're not gonna be fun. Sure, not gonna be fun running around knowing we got jump when Zero says jump.
Well, it's quite stupid. Well, it's stupid to sit around doing nothing.
Thanks to Snake's card, at least we have some idea of how all this works. Correct. And so long as we follow the rules, we should, will most likely be alright. But?
Who's gonna go in which door?
June looked at the doors. Right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same one. Then it would seem we have to split up.
Wait.
Lotus looked terrified. I'm telling you now, there's no way in hell I'm going into door 5. Come now, don't be selfish. Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there.
If I'm gonna have to walk through all that blood, I'd rather stay here.
We were doing so well. Ace shook his head.
Sorry, but I ain't going there either. Someone else can go in door 5.
Ugh, Santa, not you too.
Hey, I just bought these shoes. They're like $300 Versace's. You think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over him? You got another thing coming. What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should just get going? Yeah? Doesn't mean I want to go into door 5.
For the love of all things. Oh, for the love of all things, Soperl. There's an awkward silence. 7 was the next to speak. Fine. I'll go into door 5. Can't go in there alone, though. Anyone else willing to come with me? And there's another long silence. This time, Snake was the next.
I'll go.
What?
Don't worry, you'll be fine. We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later.
How do you know that?
I do.
That's not an answer! If you're going, I'm going too!
What am I gonna do with you? There's nothing you have to do. Hey, Step, there's nothing you have to do. If I join you, the problem is solved. 7 is 7, Snake is 2. Add up Clover's 4 and my 1. The digital route is 5.
It works so perfectly! The 4 of us can go into door 5.
Wait. What about the other 4? What's their route? Lotus, Santa, June, Junpei. 8, 3, 6, 5. Eight plus 3, 11, plus another 11, 22. Route is 4. Add up our bracelets, the DR is 4.
So we can go into door 4.
Yeah, huh, it worked out well. Junpei ran over the teams once more. 4 people into door 5, 7 Snake, Clover, Ace. The rest, Lotus, Santa, June, Junpei, into door 4. Junpei had to ask himself if the teams were what he really wanted. Beyond door 5 was what remained of the 9th man. He didn't want to see that thing again. But something in him said it'd be unwise not to examine the course. Of course, if he went through door 5, he wouldn't be going with Lotus and Santa. It'd be possible for him to bring June with him through door 5, but that would mean exposing her to the horrifying carnage waiting there. Junpei didn't want that. He was torn. As he turned his options, Ace spoke up. Alright then, seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go? He walked toward door 5. Clover, Snake, and 7 followed. Now, let's make this a little more fun, shall we? Let's run a poll. At least for this very first run-through. Feel free to pick. Ah! We'll run this poll 2 minutes. We've only got 2 options. Door 5, door 4. Of course, you can use Fracturia to influence the vote, as usual. But yeah, genuine thank you, Saya. I try to give my best when it comes to performance whenever possible. Just something I would want to look into at some point. Doing some type of voice acting. If not for a story of my own, such I am working behind the scenes on various things involving Mindless, but it's probably going to be a long time for that. There are more doors later on in the game, but for right now, these are our only 2 options, 5 and 4. Our decision here determines which doors we might be able to see later, or potentially even go into. I think we've seen a lot of doors as is. Actually, come to think of it, I need a free sippy. All this voice acting does things to my throat. You sons of butts tied the pole. I hate... Really? Really? Okay, fine, you jerk nuggets. I want to see some blood. The four people walking toward the door stopped, turned back toward him. I want to go through door 5. The words were out of his mouth when June spoke.
What? What are you saying? If you're going through that door, I'm going with you.
You can't. I can't take you with me.
Why?
Where? Oh, you know what's in there. Are you sure you want to see that? June opened her mouth as if to say something, but closed it, looked at the floor. Junpei felt an ache in his chest. But the choice wasn't his to make. Nothing he could do. He turned away from June, did his best to silence the turbulent motion. Please, let me go into door 5. Seven scratched his head, looked at the man. Oh man, now we're right back where we started. You know what? Junpei's bracelet is 5. If we're going to add Junpei, then we need to subtract 5 from the rest of us. Snake turned to Ace. Ace, please, take good care of Clover. Alright, that's fine.
Don't go away.
You need to listen to me, Clover. Go to door 4 with the others.
No.
Don't be so selfish. Snake's tone was harsh. Tears welled in Clover's eyes. She bit her lip, did her best to fight them off. Snake's expression softened. He put his arms around Clover. Held her close, whispered into her ear. You'll be fine. Just relax. He maybe whispered 2 or 3 more words, but Junpei wasn't sure. He couldn't help but wonder what he'd said. Snake pulled back from his sister, his eyes kind, inquiring.
Okay, I understand.
Her voice was barely audible from where Junpei stood. Before long, teams were assembled. Those going to door 5, 7, Snake, Junpei. Those to door 4, Lotus, Santa, June, Ace, Clover. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. God, thanks. Alright then, here we go.
Please be careful.
There'll be June to pay. No! Concern was written across her face. Junpei looked her in the eye, gave what he hoped was a reassuring nod, pulled the lever. Ah, crit! With the sharp clack of a lock releasing, the door swung open. Oh. Thank you. And sit up. I don't know why, but gaming just makes me lie down for whatever reason. Ahead of them, in the small hallway, were the remains of the 9th man. For a moment, Junpei froze, try as he might. What have you done to my poor Nom? I love it. I love flat Nom. It's like a frisbee. For a moment, Junpei froze. Try as he might, his eyes wouldn't leave the corpse, his feet wouldn't leave the floor. 7-2 seemed paralyzed. Snake, on the other hand, was unconcerned. He walked calmly down the hallway, stopped when he realized that his companions weren't following. Do you intend to kill me? I assume you hadn't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you? Everything is flat. Junpei and Seven looked at one another, nodded, threw themselves to the floor, or to the door. As they did, cold tones sounded from their wrists. On both of them, and on Snake's, a red skull had flickered to life. The detonator had started. They'd scarcely processed the information when... With a metallic slam, the door behind them swung shut. They needed to find the dead, fast. Hey, where's the dead? The fear and urgency in Seven's face reflected what all of them felt. Junpei spun around, searched. He found it easily enough, on the wall next to the closed door labeled 5. There! Right here! As he yelled, he struck the scanner with his hand. The other two scrambled to follow suit. As soon as they finished, Snake threw the lever. Well, looks like it stopped. As he spoke, Junpei wiped the sweat from his forehead with a hand. Good thing things gave me a heart attack. A muscle stood out in Seven's neck. The corner of his mouth twitched.
Jumpy, are you alright? Are you guys okay?
They could hear anxious voices, muffled but distinct, from the other side of the door. Yeah, we're fine! The detonators have been deactivated. They heard relieved sighs, and even through the door, the 3 men could feel the tension disperse. Alright, we're moving on. Be careful, okay?
Okay.
Sure thing. They'd heard footsteps moving away. Before long, they were alone again. Junpei looked around. The hallway hit a dead end, 20 or 30 feet from where they were. A thick iron wall blocked them. Try as they might to force it, the wall refused to move. To the left, however, a wooden door that looked inviting by comparison. First class. Room 53. First class cabin. Seems like it. Let's have a look then, shall we? Without hesitation, Snake opened the door. 7 followed closely behind. Junpei moved to follow them, but... He stopped, short of the threshold, and looked back, not knowing why. Lying in the hallway was a man's body, or what was left of it. He'd tried hard to avoid looking at the grisly scene, but it just wouldn't leave his mind. What looked like a man's internal organs looked like so much vomit, as though something had chewed up and spit out the better part of his torso. Hideous, but worse still, cruel. It was hard to believe the thing on the floor had once been human. The black pool of thick blood, the lumps of glistening flesh across the floor, the awkward, twisted tangle of shredded intestine, the head wrenched to some grotesque, unnatural position. His glasses lay next to his head. The lenses cracked, the frame bent and distorted. Next to them, the bracelet with the number 9. There are only 2 ways to remove the bracelet. 1. You will escape from the ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects the wearer's heartbeat falls to 0, it will shut down. Junpei felt the knot convulse. He clapped his hands over his mouth, ran to the first-class cabin. The atmosphere changed immediately. The room was gorgeous, despite the apparent age of the ship, none the worse for wear, too. He looked around. Seven and Snake were nowhere. There were 2 doors on the right side of the room. He opened the one on the right, went through. On the other side of the door was a hallway. He jogged down the hall, opened the door. To his right, they were busy examining something. What's up?
Check this out. We found this thing here on the door.
Red light, and the red light's on. Is it locked? So I would assume. Any other way out?
We looked a little. Other than that, we didn't find anything.
So unless we can open this door... Yes, we won't be going anywhere. Junpei stepped away, looked around. It looked like a bedroom. He figured the door he'd originally entered was the living room, or whatever passed for one on the ship.
Alright, let's open this door. Come on!
I might take a couple moments of a break just to use the bathroom quick. In the meantime, feel free to enjoy this music. 999 has a wonderful soundtrack. I'd recommend it. Be right back. Alright. Back. Ow! What is all this garbage doing here? Jeez, you'll get busy. No! Ow! Alright. Time to seek a way out. Start with, always check under the pillow. Score plate.
Ah!
It took Junpei by surprise. Snake, usually so calm and collected, began to move. He stared about the room almost frantically, clearly looking for something. No, not staring. After all, he's blind. Blind or not, Snake was attempting to do something. Junpei could no longer contain his curiosity. What are you doing? I heard something strange. Something strange? Ah, well, never mind. There doesn't seem to be anything suspicious. I don't wish to toot my own horn, but my auditory senses are considerably more advanced than those of most humans. I notice even the slightest of noises. Right, you gotta tell me you can hear a needle drop from a mile away? No, such a thing would be impossible. However, by listening to the sound of footsteps and breathing, as well as the sound echoing off the environment, I can locate most objects. Oh yeah, that's right. When Clover fell on the big staircase a little while ago, you were at her side immediately. That was... Yes, I could hear it happening. In fact, I could run quite fast. Certainly as fast as you. And should someone attempt to start a fight with me, I'm quite confident I could defeat them. Junpei was taken aback by the revelation. He stared at Snake, skeptical. You don't believe me, do you? Care to give me a try? I must warn you, you'll no doubt regret it. Well, I guess that's enough playing around. Let's resume our search, shall we? With a small, self-satisfied smile, Snake turned, walked away. That string of flatterated noms and T's face is just perfect. Snake's rubbing the desk. This is a high-quality desk. Teak, mahogany. How the hell can you tell? I have my ways. That piano is going to be important for leaving a room, but we don't have all the materials for it. Yes, you know, that sort of thing is known as a vanity. Were you aware of that, Junpei? Of course, vanity also refers to self-love, conceit, narcissism. As such, you could say that every day when a woman looks into one of these, she's staring at her own conceit and narcissism. Doesn't that strike you as terribly sad? Ouch. I don't know, some guys stare into it too. Actually, little story, this one more pertains to my sister than anything else, but... Hereby known as Rune, my sister actually really hates mirrors. She has a fear of them after seeing too many, things with horror movies gimmicking with them. We actually do have a, what used to be a vanity in her room. Well, what used to be her room. The mirror is gone, but most of the drawers are still intact. It's at least a decade or two old. And still serviceable. But yeah, like, some days her fear can also extend to the bathroom mirror, too. Let's see, if I remember correctly, yep, there's a plate in there. We can't exactly get that without some means to pull it out. Oh, I get it. You're gonna use the vase, right? Pretty clever, Junpei. Just gotta fill this thing with water. What? What are you talking about? Oh man, you don't get it? Just grab that face, take a look around. You'll figure it out soon enough. Did you look at phone mirrors? Maybe, but even then, she doesn't exactly do that at all. She's more of a tomboy, really. Well, it's coming out. We got the faucet on all the way, but I can't hear anything. The bathtub is full of gross, cloudy water. If we fill the vase up, we could toss it. Not really sure what he's saying, but whatever. Let's just get this vase full of water. There's a plug on the end of the chain. Alright, why don't we just drain this? Good plan. Good tug ought to be enough to get it out. Another plate. Testing! Testing! Hey, it's great to see you all here! I just flew in from New York, and boy, my arms are tired! Yes, thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal! That's not a mic, Seven. It's a shower head. What? What the hell? That's a joke that's gonna fly over people's heads. Japanese culture thing. Japanese culture is more in tune with baths than showers, and as a result, some people don't exactly know what a shower head looks like. That's it. Let's see, so next up should be putting out this fire. Alright. About time, buddy!
Splash!
Haha, good job! Another success! Fire didn't stand a chance! Alright, time to pull this out. Don't want to get burned, so let's pull down the sleeves. As Junpei tucked the plate into his pocket, Seven cried out and stumbled, his balance lost. He threw out a hand, caught the wall in time to steady himself and avoid the floor. But his face was flushed, and he looked startled. Hey, Seven, what the hell was that? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I just felt a little dizzy, that's it. Seven rubbed a couple of fingers across his brow, shook his head as if to clear it. What the hell's wrong with me? First memory loss, now I'm getting dizzy? Memory loss? Junpei couldn't hide the surprise in his voice. Seven, for his part, seemed unconcerned. Right, guess I haven't told you, have I? Told the rest of them, but that must have been before you showed up. Well, long and short of it is, I don't remember jack from what went before I went up here. Didn't realize I hadn't told you. Whoa, wait a second. You're talking about amnesia, right? Yeah, I guess so. Well, why are you an amnesiac? What happened to you? If I knew that, there wouldn't really be one, would I? I guess you have a point. Junpei paused, stared at Seven. You telling the truth? Hmm? Well, you look pretty calm for somebody who doesn't remember anything. If you've really got amnesia, shouldn't you be, like, upset or confused or something? Well, sure, I mean, I was pretty confused when I woke up down on Z-Deck. That was a while ago. I've had some time to get used to it. After a while, I figured it wasn't worth the trouble of worrying about it. After all, why worry about something I can't change? People usually don't stay amnesiacs forever. Figure it'll work itself out eventually. That's it? That's it. Alright, that's enough talking. Let's get back to work. Seven gave Junpei a look at the younger man. The younger man wasn't sure how to interpret. Turned to walk away. Somehow, Junpei didn't find his reassurances very reassuring.
perfect for an elegant gentleman like myself.
The couch looks a lot more elegant.
Hey, this something you had, Saren?
Never mind. You can get a bunch of funny diatribes by examining things at weird times. A suitcase made of leather, the color of rich mahogany.
Well, shoot. Looks like there's nothing in it.
Nothing in the lower one?
Bag.
Come on. There's that third plate. And a bathroom.
Toilet. Doesn't seem to be anything in the toilet or the tank. Well, there is toilet paper. That looks suspicious.
No, it's a toilet. By default, I think it's suspect.
Junpei, look! There's a head coming out of the toilet! Just a joke there, kid.
Not funny, man.
Too old for this shit.
Incontinence is a problem many other men struggle with, but there is help. Ouch.
Let's no, it doesn't look like there's anything hidden.
And there we are in the mirror. What a pair. College kid and a terrifying giant of a man in a beanie. Stuck in a cramped bathroom with this beast of a man. What would my parents say?
Something wrong, Junpei? You looked real sad all of a sudden.
No. Nothing. Bad. I think I have everything I need. What's this? This isn't a score. A map of the ship? A map? There's a map of the ship here?
Yeah?
Then I imagine it'll prove very helpful. You'd best hold on to it. Okay. No matter which route you end up taking, you will always get a map of the ship by the end of the second escape room. Surprisingly, the map ain't as helpful as you think it is. Anyway, back to this piano. What's Snake doing? You can't play, can he? This piano. There's something amiss with the keys. What, is that a tune? No, not that. It's properly tuned, just. Well, the sounds are clearly purposely different. The C key doesn't yield the C, but rather a different note. Same goes for the D. They play some other note. Why do you think it's like that? Isn't it painfully obvious? Zero modified it in some way. This piano, you see, it's part of what the puzzle Zero has set for us. Perhaps if we play the keys in the correct order, something will happen. In other words, we need to play a song. I believe so. Alright, let's put the ceramic plate on bottom, glass plates on top. Wait. What's wrong? Well, I put them all on top of each other, but they look odd. Doesn't really look like a song. In all likelihood, we haven't found them all. We need to find more glass plates. Okay, so I'm missing one or two. Ah! Perfect. The safe is locked.
It's one of those dial locks. It doesn't have a key. We just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open.
You find anything, Seven?
Nope. What about you, Snake?
I also found nothing. There's that fourth plate. There's nothing inside. I could tell by the weight. It makes no noise when shaken. We can't exactly open that safe. Do I need 4 plates or 5? There we go. Sweet, now I can play the music. Junpei, would you be so kind as to play the piano? I'm unable to, you see. I'm sure I needn't tell you, but the keys on this piano are, well, what you might expect them to be. C won't be C, D won't be D, and so forth. Listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. Understand? Alright, let's give this a shot. Okay. Yep. No. Oh, boy. This puzzle can take a while, sorry. Especially since you have to start from the beginning every time you bungle it. Crap. So I think it was this one. There we go. And we're done. Music's not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Junpei. It looks like it worked. I heard something unlock over by the exit.
Stand, bow, be seated. Guess he hasn't forgotten that.
At least Snake thinks it's funny. Yes, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that's what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero almost certainly meant to suggest Westminster, not middle school.
Westminster?
The palace in London that plays host these days to the Houses of Parliament. You've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays that very collection of notes on the hour. London.
Capital of England, eh?
At any rate, the door is now unlocked. Let's leave this place. I really didn't feel like it took me all that much time. Then again, I have already mentioned I have played through this game before, so I'm not going to be flailing on too many different puzzles. There will be some that frustrate me, but we'll get to them.